Okay. Hi, everyone. Mary Hope Pallone here from the ALS Hope Foundation. Hello. Hi. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. All right. So we had a couple, hey, Jamie, we had a couple technical difficulties. So I'm actually on my phone here. All right. So it's 4:00 and we are going live from my quarantine house. And all right, just want to thank Sarah Feldman, Dr. Patterson for kind of pulling me out of my comfort zone a little bit here and having me do a little Facebook Live. So I'm good if I'm right in front of you, and I'm good if I'm in front of 500 people face to face. However, this is a little bit different. So, all right. So we are going to talk. All right. So we have a little connection craze here. All right. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to, give us an opportunity to kind of connect. All right. I'm hoping it's working because I see it kind of trying to reconnect from. What do you guys see? Do you guys see that? Do you see that it's trying to reconnect, or is it all good? Okay. So, all right. So we're going to talk about mental health, something that many of you know that I am incredibly passionate about, mental health. We're going to talk about COVID, wow, and ALS, and yes, how we're all doing here. So, all right. I want to give a couple shout outs. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much, and huge shout outs to all the people that are, all of our medical people and other people on the front lines dealing with all of this and kind of helping to keep us safe. And even our grocery workers, everyone, all these essential personnel. And really just want to give a big thanks, and I hope everybody can stay safe and well. So, and before I really get into talking about anything, I also just want to let you know, all of our people out there, I know we have 14 people, so all of us at the ALSO Foundation, we really are going on with that. We absolutely want to be here for you as much as we can. So that's why we're doing these things. You're going to get to see a lot of us maybe. Crazy is how it is. So no makeup, going in and out. All right. Great. Hi, Colleen. Okay. So, wow. Let's talk about mental health. If anybody has any comments, if anybody wants to ask any questions, of course, I'll talk a little bit about, all of you that are out there living, or have lived with ALS, are living with it. And in this time of, where we can't really be around people physically, I know it's difficult for me and, my family, and, my mom is kind of not doing so well right now, and we can't be there with her. So that is a challenge. So all of you that are living with, have lived with, this sense of isolation, I just want us to, we're continually talking about ways that we can connect and keep people feeling like, you're not in this alone, and that we are here for you. So if people have any, tips or things that you're doing to be able to keep yourself connected, we'll talk about some of those. And none of this is rocket science. I mean, it's, we are really in a tough time right now. There's all sorts of, varying opinions and ideas and information coming out there. So day to day, moment to moment, it can be incredibly unsettling. And what we know too is, just living with ALS in and of itself can be incredibly unsettling and disruptive in many ways. So we just, so like I said, it's not going to be anything like rocket science, but I'm just going to kind of run through how we can help support ourselves, how we can, potentially help support those that we love, and those around us. So all right, so let's just run through that. So, and this is stuff that I do every day of my life, or I try to. So, we can't, as human beings, we can't we can't make any changes or do anything if we don't have an idea in terms of where we are in this moment. So one of the biggest things that I encourage people that I work with to use, one of the biggest things that I use is a continual kind of check-in, pausing, checking in, like, wow, how am I feeling right now? What's happening? What kind of thoughts am I having right now? How am I feeling physically? How am I feeling emotionally? And then once I begin to get an idea from that place, from that point, then I can make decisions in terms of, if I want to make some shifts or some changes in that, So that's probably number one, what is it that you're feeling? And please know too, that if anybody at any time feels like things are just too overwhelming at whatever particular time or for whatever reason, and it doesn't even have to be due to all the kind of, maybe just what you're living day in and day out, being cooped up in a sense, living with the realities of ALS, whatever it is, just know that you can absolutely reach out to one of us. My email address, you can reach out to the Ho Foundation. They can, get in touch with me or need some extra support. It looks like it keeps reconnecting. So I apologize for that if you're seeing that on your end. Reconnect. Okay, so number one, check in. What is happening with you? What is happening in this moment? And then, also too, living in just this day. I mean, I don't know if we've been at a time, for me, I guess in my own perspective, where living just one day at a time is really so paramount. My head can absolutely spin, what's going to happen with this, what's going to happen with that. We're reconnecting. And I also know that when I talk to a lot of our families, that is something that our patients and families, that can be a huge piece of this kind of mental roller coaster that begins to happen, is this, the mind projecting into the future, and how helpful it can be to be able to pull back if the mind is kind of spinning out of control in terms of worries or fears or anxieties and things like that, being able to pull back and just really drop into, okay, what's right in front of me, here in this moment, here for this day, for these 24 hours. Jamie just put his information up. Jamie, thank you so much. Jamie, if you could actually put my information up too, that would be great. Just my email address, my mary@maryfholt.com, and my cell phone too. Definitely people can Facebook message me, although Jill is probably well aware of this. I'm not as much on Facebook. Texting is fine, but whatever it may be. So Jamie, thanks for putting your information up. And then there are some practical things just in terms of once I make a decision, if I feel like I'm kind of feeling a bit of anxiety or frustration, definitely being, everybody in the same place for so long, I can start to think about wow, what kind of thoughts am I having? And take a step back for a minute, do some deep breathing, where we're reconnecting. So pausing is really incredibly helpful. Finding a mantra too, or a little phrase. A mantra is like a little phrase. I just use that. What phrase, if there is one, would help you get through those sticky moments? I use something, I use several, I have several actually, that, number one, we're reconnecting. Everything is always working out. Even though it looks like it's a big hot mess, I continually put that in my brain. When my head is spinning out, I just start repeating that to myself. Everything is working out. Everything is working out. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. Whatever it may be that helps you individually feel like you can just breathe, right? So finding that would be helpful potentially. And then, just reconnecting. Just in terms of being in the house here too. I mean, that is that can be a huge transition for us. So we certainly have had our ups and downs. And I'm sure we'll continue to have some. So me learning to be more flexible, it's really been important for myself, and it can be helpful. Keeps reconnecting. I'm sorry. It can be helpful for all of us that, I try to have a little of downtime in the morning before anybody else wakes up, before the day really gets going. And sometimes I have to wake up pretty early. But schedules are all over the place. My son is actually still asleep, my teenager, and, he's kind of up all night, sleeping during the day. It's very bizarre. So it's important for me to kind of have some grounded time in the morning. That's how I do it, to kind of start my day. I do some readings. I journal a little bit. I meditate, and then I try to get outside at least once a day. And if you can't get outside, that's another thing. Like, are you near, maybe even just opening up a window just to let some fresh air in, just to kind of connect yourself or be able to be connected with the outside somehow. That can be really helpful as well in terms of easing people's tensions. Sorry. So I'm not sure why it keeps reconnecting like that, but who knows? I don't know anything that's happening. So then some other things just in terms of being in the house. Here we are, I don't know, what are we getting into our third week of this? I'm not sure. What kind of things have you guys found in terms of being able to help yourself? The other night, we just kind of had we were all just beside ourselves. My kids with boredom, and school schedules are all over the place. My work schedule, and tensions have been high at times. And, my kids just started breaking out into a dance party, put on some music really loud, and we just started kind of jumping around. Now, and if you can't do those things, what can you do, to bring some levity, to bring some life? Is there some great music that you love that kind of helps you feel better in the moment? Would that be helpful? So these are the have been encouraging a lot of my clients, finding the things that are small things, simple things that are helpful. Because in the big picture, it's wow, how much control do I really have over all of this? I can take the precautions that I can take to keep myself and my loved ones safe. I can limit the amount of news that I watch, because the first couple days there, I was really watching every changing thing, and my head started really to spin. And being a nurse, I'm that's happening in terms of the medical world. So that's been helpful, limiting the amount of information that I take in, trying to find what's good, what's good. We're reconnecting. One of my greatest teachers, I swear. So my son, who actually is asleep, of course, because we're all topsy-turvy, he always says, "Mom, what's good? Mom, what's good? What's good? What's good, Mom?" So that is something that I have actually tried to really use throughout my day. When I'm starting to get a little, the mood is good, I try to remind myself, okay, what's good? What's good? So I would ask everyone, what's good? What is good? And that's not to take away from the severity and the significance of everything, of ALS, in and of itself, of being a caregiver, of this, not to take away from the severity. In the big reality of things, what I can do right now in this moment is try my best to feel as good as I can in my head for myself and the people around me. So the question is, what's good? What's good? I'm going to read us a little something, because I do have some, and I don't know if this will be helpful for anyone, but this is certainly helpful for me, and it's about acceptance. Some people it's helpful, but here we go. So, and acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I am disturbed, it is because I find some person, place, thing, or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me. And I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it is supposed to be at this moment, even if I don't like it. Unless I accept my life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as on what needs to be changed in me and in my attitudes. Oftentimes I find that's the only thing I ever have control over, myself and my own attitudes. So what is it that I can change within myself, my attitude, and my thinking that can make this a little bit better in this moment, right? That can support my own mental health, because things are crazy right now, okay? Is the answer to all my problems. So that's one of the books that I use in terms of my books of wisdom. Here's another book. It is called More Laugh Out Loud Jokes for Kids, okay? All the time. So I'd like to just read us one, okay? All right, we're back. All right. Why did the moon feel sick to its stomach? Because it was a full moon. My kids actually think I'm nuts because these really crack me up. All right, what kind of vegetable has the worst manners? A rutabaga. A rutabaga. Get it? A rutabaga? Now here's the thing. Let's not be the rutabaga in life today, all right? Because there's a lot of tough things happening. ALS is tough. Jesus, Louise, yes. COVID-19, quarantine is tough. So what I can do as much as possible is keep my own head on straight as best as I can by getting outside if I can, by feeling the fresh air, by learning to control my thinking and what I want to focus on, by, moving my body or even thinking about moving my body, by trying to do things that bring me joy. Connecting virtually. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are doing that already, just like this. Zoom is, Zoom is, can you hear me? Off the charts. So connecting with people as virtually as possible. And if you feel like you can't connect with anyone, please know that you can reach out to us. We want to, and we will be there for you as much as we can. So, I think that's all I got. I don't know if this was helpful. I hope so. I mean, just trying to, enjoy the simple moments, because in all reality, I mean, you guys that are living with ALS, you know that. I mean, that's all we got anyway. It's just like this moment and then the next moment, and how good can I make this moment? Because I can make my moments pretty bad. I can do that in my thinking, in the things that I say, and I can do that. And I can also think about, acceptance, and I can also read a joke, and I can also pause before I say something not so nice. I can do those things. And I know we all can. So it is amazingly wonderful that we can connect this way. I'm so glad to see all these awesome people that are on here watching. And we love you guys. I mean, we love you. So if there's stuff that we can do, if there's something that we're not doing and we can do it better or we can do it more. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to say anything. Hey, Jen, Sweetia, Sarah. Okay, may you be, all right. I don't know if you can see the reconnecting. I'm going to try to get this switch. It says, yes. If you can hear me, I'm full. May you be from inner and outer harm. May you live with the ease of well-being, and may you, in your heart of hearts and in your mind, may you dance with joy. Even if your body cannot dance, may you dance with joy in your heart and in your mind. All right, be well, friends, and we will. Oh, just so you know, too, Tuesday, let me put a little plug in. Tuesday, we are starting, I totally forgot, a virtual support group. So at 2:00 every Tuesday, there's going to be a Zoom virtual support group for anyone living with, has lived with, caregivers, patients, ALS. So I'll be hosting it, and then if you want to, tune in, just let me know or the ALS Hope Foundation know, and we can send you the link. So you do have to register for it. So please know that that's something that we're going to start Tuesday at 2:00, Tuesdays at 2. All right? Love ya. Take care. Bye. Signing off.